Hey, what's up guys, it's Dylan Guide here, and today we're gonna be talking or explaining some stuff about Earthcore that maybe the developer didn't mention it, or you got confused about the tutorial that they release on their application. Anyway, we're gonna be going from scratch and talking about everything, so you get everything normally. Anyway, the first thing gonna be elements, and the elements are really easy. So in all the game we have so many stuff like defense point, attack point, and other stuff that sometimes make the game harder for you. But here we have three kind of elements: fire or earth, or as you like to call it, nature, and water. So they work like this.
Fire burns earth. Earth absorbs water. Water extinguishes fire.
And now you know how they work. There's one element that's left out, which is called dust. And dust is the weakest element, and you get this question: why the hell there's an element that can be beatable by all of the elements? Well, we will get to that when we get to skills. Now you know how the elements work, now let's go for risk. And now let's talk about risk, and as you can see here, there's a number on the card that's called risk, and you know the games, the highest number is the most powerful. Here may be the same case, but in another way. We'll get to that later. So when you battle in a game, if you lost or if you win. If you lost, that number on your card will be deducted from your health point, or being taken out, or you'll be getting that damage any way you call it. And if you won, you'll be taking or inflicting that damage to your opponent on their card. So if you have, let's put in an example, we have this card with 10 risk on it, or there's a card with 5 risk on it. So if you won on your opponent, you'll be giving your opponent 5 damage. If you lost, you'll be taking 10 damage. That easy. You got it? Great. Alright, in Earthcore we have two kind of cards: recruiters and heroes. Recruiters can only have 1 skill, and heroes can have up to 3 skill. And we're gonna be talking about heroes later. So for recruiters, so what are skills for all of that, right? Skills are like ability or more way your card can be powerful. For an example, there are skills that can change your card element, skills that can change your opponent element, or both side elements. Alright, that was for an example, because we have a lot of skills, and if you tap your card that you have it with skill, they can tell you the effect and stuff. So you only have 1 skill activation per turn. Keep that in mind. With that being said, let's go for skill types. We have 4 types. The first one called manual, which means that you activate it by yourself when you put that card on the table with skill activation point. The second one called instant, which they activate themselves once you put them on the table, and they know they don't take your skill point, so that's a good one. And the third one called passive, which sometimes they have weakness, but of course they don't use skill activation, so that's another good one. And the last one is the easiest one to explain. It's called chant. They have a special place on the table, and they don't activate themselves. You have to activate them by your skill activation point, and they affect most of the time your table, and some of skills that can affect both sides of the table, so, or field as you like to call it. Alright, I hope you got it. Let's go for the next one. So we said that we're gonna be talking about heroes, and here we are talking about them. Heroes are the most powerful card in this game, and they can learn up to 3 skill, and that's only by crafting them. So what is crafting? It's sacrificing 3 copy of the same card to give that skill to the hero card. And of course, the better or the higher quality of your skill that will be giving to your hero will make it more risky. The number on your hero will get higher, and you have to be careful about that. You got it, alright? And now let's talk about factions and how they work. Well, basically, let's say factions are group and cards are separated into groups. But keep in mind that being in a faction doesn't limit your way of getting any card. You'll have access to any card, but being in a faction does lower your risk. And how that? Well, let's say you have a card with 12 risk on it. If it was from your faction, you'll be taking 10 damage. If it wasn't from your faction, you'll be taking the 12 damage. That's it. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was useful for you. And maybe you said that this didn't do anything for me. If you have any question in the comments, just leave it. If you have any suggestion, just leave it there, and I'll be happy to answer or do it in the next video.